Hello, in this video we're going to take a look at your Apple ID and learn how to set it. What is an Apple ID? I've scraped this information from the Apple ID website. I'll provide the URL address at the end of this slide deck. Your Apple ID is your username that identifies you to the Apple world. So if you wanted to shop the iTunes, enable iCloud, make purchases on the online retail store, etc., you identify yourself with your Apple ID. To set your Apple ID, you'll go to System Preferences, Users and Groups. I'm going to insist that you set your Apple ID to be your Algonquin College email address. You might ask yourself, why am I making this mandatory? In the future, I'm going to have Apple developer accounts created, and those developer accounts must belong to the Algonquin College email. A friendly reminder, your email mask will look something like the 4 letters followed by 4 numbers at algonquinlive.com. In general, it will be the first 4 letters of your last name followed by the 4 numbers. Please note, if your last name has fewer than 4 letters, I think they pad it. We're going to confirm your user account can administer your computer. We're going to see that in Users and Groups. But I'm also going to show you a command called Groups to verify that. Finally, here's the URL. We see that it's HTTPS, so that's the Hypertext Transfer Protocol, and the S stands for secure. We're on a secured socket. We're going to study that protocol towards the end of the course. And it's appleid.apple.com. So let's go ahead and set our Apple ID. So we'll launch System Preferences. I see System Preferences is in my dock and it's identified by the geared wheels. Let's click that. We'll click Users and Groups, and we can see that there's one user and one guest user, and I've set my account to be my full name. And there's the Apple ID. So let's see how I set that. You'll go Change, and then a dialog appears. If you need to create an Apple ID, you'll simply click this button here, Create Apple ID ... You'll be redirected to the Apple site. You'll be presented with a form, and that's where you'll set your Apple ID, and that's where you'll set your Algonquin College email address. Once you've done that, you can now set or change your Apple ID to be your email address. And you'll do that by going plus, and you'd go abcd1234 at algonquincollege.com. Of course, you're going to set that to be your own email address, and you'll provide the password that you created. I'm going to cancel this. Please note that students and faculty are on different email servers, so I have a different email address format than you do. So I'm going to accept that, click Done. We see that right now, by default, I can't make changes to my user account, and that's identified by this lock symbol here. If you wish to make changes to your account, you would click it. I'm asked for my user account password. I'll supply that, go unlock, and we just heard the unlock symbol, and now I can make changes to my user account. Please note that the allow user to administer this computer is currently grayed out. I can't uncheck it. Why is that? One account must belong to the admin group, and by default it was the first account that I created, the account for me. But that's okay, that's what we want. To be an administrator in the OS X means that I have certain privileges. I have privileges to install software, delete software, add users, delete users. I have admin-like privileges. If I go to Login Items, we can see the following items or applications will automatically open once I log into my user account. So for myself, I have the iTunes helper. In a future video, I'll show you how to set up VMware. So let's go back to password. And I'm going to lock down my changes. So that's our users and groups. Is there another way to confirm that we belong to the administrator group? The answer to that is yes, and we're going to use a command to do that. So we're going to launch a terminal shell. Applications, we'll scroll down, utilities, and there's the terminal. I'm going to open it. In a future video, we'll consider what do each of these items mean. Very quickly, Maple, that's the name of the host. I've named my computer Maple, and my account is called HerdLake. Tilde means that I'm in the home of HerdLake, and the dollar means that I'm a regular user. As it turns out, users can belong to multiple groups. To find out what groups you participate in, you'll issue the groups command. And we can see that I belong to many groups. I belong to the staff group, for example. I belong to the com.apple.sharepoint.group.1. I'm not sure what that group is, but I belong to it. I also belong to LP admin. That means line printer admin. I have admin privileges to set up my printer. I have a printer at home, and I was the administrator for it. And I am the admin, or I do belong to the admin group, rather. That's probably the better way to say that. And that's what I want. Well, that concludes this video. Congratulations. You now know how to set your Apple ID to be equivalent to your Algonquin College email address, and you can also know how to confirm that your account belongs to the admin. Goodbye.